All right. Thank y'all for being here to cover our guys and our program. Really glad to get the win. Obviously, been a tough last couple weeks. I'll be very candid. I don't sleep very good when we don't win. I don't. I usually wake up at 3 a.m. and start watching tape the last couple weeks because I've just been sick to my stomach. It's good to get the bad taste of losses out of our mouth. We did some things really well today. We did some things that we still have to improve upon a great deal. Right out of the gate, you look at we had 500 and I think 20-something yards, 521 on 81 plays. That's really good. They had 288 on 51 plays. I don't know the last time that outfit's run 51 offensive plays. They usually, last year against us, they ran 93, okay? Now, at the clock rules, they've been more in the mid to high 70s this year. But for them to only get 51 plays, it says a lot about our team. And you think about the missed opportunities. My goodness, the first drive, we should have gotten points there. There's a lot of things that we're going to look back at the tape and feel like we probably should have scored, 42, 49 points, I'm guessing. And but really proud of our guys for being resilient, tough, and responding. These are college-age young men who I think are learning a lot about life and adversity and trials. And I told them in the locker room just now, I was a little bit worried about what is the identity of this team. I've been worried about it for the last couple of weeks. And I think I've got a better pulse of what their identity is going to become by watching how they competed today. Now we've got to continue that track and not stop and keep going. But excited to get the win and grateful for our guys' hard work and their effort. So with that, questions.
Hey, Coach. So Monday you talked about utilizing Kamani more and utilizing him more to his potential. Do you feel like he was utilized more to his full potential today? And just, if yes, talk about the impact that had.
Yeah, well, I do a lot of analytical research, all right? I was a finance major in college. When Kamani runs for 50 yards, we're 17-3, all right? That's, a pretty good percentage. I think that's 85% of the time. And last week we didn't get him enough opportunities. Even though JMU was very good on defense, we did not. We abandoned one of our best players probably a little too early because we felt like there were some things there in the passing game in that game plan for us to be taking from the opponent. Today he went 26 for 156 and 2 touchdowns. Could have had a third right there. We hadn't done this in a while, and I probably need to revisit it, but wouldn't have been mad at him for going down there, not even trying to score on the one that we fumbled going in. That's something you practice when you got a couple score lead and you don't even really need the points. You just need to milk the clock. But that's on me. If our guys don't execute something, that's on me, not on them. So, but he's vital to our success. We want to play the game with physicality. We want to be able to run the football. And part of the way we were able to play such good defense against such an explosive offense is because we have a great running back and we committed to the run. That kind of keeps them off schedule and off balance and messes up with their flow and rhythm of the game plan for them. But a huge part of the success of the game today was him running the football to a high level and catching the ball. He had 4 catches for 58 yards. You know what I mean? So with 60 yards after the catch. So, it was line of scrimmage catches that he extended the play, which is pretty special.
Play right before halftime. How much did that change the psyche of everybody going into the locker room? Because it just, at that point, Western Kentucky seemed to be outplaying, and then all of a sudden you have the lead going into the dressing room.
Yeah, I think, we had 200 yards of offense at that point, I think. They had 70, and we were down 7-3. And you're sitting there going, I really felt like we had outplayed them. We hadn't outfinished them. And so I felt like we had outplayed them to that point, but hadn't really seen the points come from it. Man, if you don't know what to do, throw the ball up to C. Lou, right? He's all he's done is just make circus catch after circus catch. And what a tremendous young man. You asked about Kamani and then you asked about that play. Great players are usually great people. And those are 2 of the best people in our building is Kimani and Chris Lewis. Smart, intelligent, genuine, authentic, caring teammates that I'd do anything for because they're the right kind of people. But huge play in the game, going into the half, 10-7, knowing you're going to get the ball out of the half. Just a critical play in the game for sure, without question.
You think about the passing game today? I was just going to ask you about Chris Lewis and what he added to that, and also just Gunnar Watson today in general. What did you think about his play?
Yeah, 349 yards passing. Again, that's a big day. I did not like the sacks. Gave up 5 sacks. One of those was on Gunnar. They did a nice job of bringing some pressure and bringing it to the line of scrimmage from depth from the third level. First level is the D-line, second level is the linebackers, third level is the secondary. They would bring their safeties in late in the play clock and insert them on the line of scrimmage. And if we don't turn the protection off the look, then we have to throw the ball knowing that they're unblocked. And so one of those was definitely on him. A couple were on the O-line, and a couple maybe just not us getting open. But we've got to eliminate the sacks. But, 22 of 35's solid, not elite, but it's solid. And then 349 yards, that's pretty good. It's back-to-back weeks. I know a lot of people give Gunnar plenty of grief because of he's only 40 years old. And he's played here forever, but he's gone back-to-back weeks for throwing for 300, and he's tough as nails. And there's some things he still has to do better. And I told him after one of those protection things, I'm like, man, you can't make that mistake. You're in the game to not make that mistake. So, but I'm glad to see, really, offensively, we've moved the ball effectively this week. Like I said, 521 yards. We got to finish drives better. I think if we were on the wrong end of the outcome today, we'd be sick to our stomach that we didn't finish some drives.
Walk away today saying that you guys really are a second half team. How do you get the guys to buy in to really have the same momentum all 4 quarters?
Hey, that's a good question. I feel like our practice model that we use throughout the week helps us late in games. I think it also helped us late in the season last year. We practice really hard on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we walk through on Thursday. We don't really practice, but it's a total walkthrough. And then Friday we run through, full speed run through, but it's not very long, but it's 100 miles an hour. So I think our guys, from a conditioning standpoint, allows them to be fresh later in games. The rhythm and the timing of some things early in the game, I think we could play better. I go back to we did some things well, had 200 yards of offense, and they had 70 until the last play, and then we had 250, and they had 70. We just didn't finish some things well, and so I think starting fast in between the 20s is great, but what matters is the red zone and finishing things. And so we got to figure out a way to get points off of those quality possessions. We can't get in the red zone and get no points, which has happened too much.